What's up, Hobby Maniacs? Rob Bear here today with a look at the new White Dwarf. This is issue 82, and it's all sorts of full of Khorne. There is a lot of good looking models in here, and I don't know why there isn't any cool looking Khorne models for 40k. Look at these guys right here. I mean, I would kill for some berserkers that look this good. Obviously, you can make them into berserkers, but I would rather just have the kit come that way because, I mean, there's only so much at the end of the day you can do to slap a chain axe and a bolter or a bolt pistol on somebody and say, hey, this is a berserker. You know, if the kit comes that way, that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, these are the Blood Warriors for the new Age of Sigmar, obviously Khorne Chaos faction, and they look great. I mean, there's 10 of them to a box. I think they cost around $60, but what I really want to talk about in this issue is these crazy looking new fortresses from Chaos. I think they're called Dreadholds, and there's all sorts of different kits and different ways you can buy them, and then you can kind of mix and match and put them all together and turn them into a huge fortress if you want, which could get pretty pricey to be quite honest. But other than that, you know, there's the sky's the limit there, and just kind of how much you're willing to spend to make it look ridiculous. So here's the Blood Warriors. These guys look great. I mean, obviously, they are head and shoulders above any armored Khorne model out there. Even most of the Chaos stuff just can't even hold a flame to this stuff, whether it's 40k or Age of Sigmar. Now, they're on par with the starter stuff in the Age of Sigmar, but, you know, being the true multi-part kit that they are, they can't, you know, you can't really say, hey, these starter miniatures are just as good as these guys here. So definitely gives you an idea of what they are capable of as far as design and all that sort of thing. So here's a closer look at some of the design elements here. You know, the helms, the standard, you know, all these little crazy punch dagger things. You got your eviscerator weapon here that goes with the unit champion, and then the axes themselves. And then here is the Dreadhold. Now, there's a couple different kits in here, and it's really interesting how they all go together. Like this one is the triangular skull keep. That's a completely different set in and of itself. Then you've got the Overlord Bastion, which is kind of like on part of that, right? So you get this, which I think you get like this opening right here. You get a bunch of the openings, so you can kind of get in here through the little side pieces here. The, what is it? They call them the lower battlements that are only available with this particular kit, this Overlord Bastion kit here, which is really interesting still too. And then you got the Malefic Gate, which is, you know, this crazy swing open, you know, gates of Mordor kind of thing, you know, the black gates that, you know, depending on how you glue it, it really gets crazy. But in actuality, all it is this piece right here, this kind of like chevron kind of thing. Then you get the gates, then another like chevron over here, and then they're showing you right here this blood drain that goes into it, and that looks to be right up here in this particular area here. So what this is designed to do is, you see this piece right here that's kind of triangular. What that is designed to do is work with the fortress walls right here. So you see that matches up here to square it off and make you a nice make you a nice flush kind of section right here. So it comes up, it butts up perpendicularly right there, kind of. Let's see, there you go. So it butts up right there perpendicularly to form a gate. And then, depending on how you want to do it, with the fortress wall section, which is really just this particular piece right here, but it's three-dimensional. You know, it goes up, comes across, it goes back down. I'm not sure if there's pieces in between here. I wouldn't imagine there is, because these are just designed to kind of lock together and then basically go into each other. Now, depending on how you want to do it, how you want to build your fortress, you know, you mix and match. Like, you'll have another one, but the other one will be kind of like this, you know, and then you would go like this. But say you want it to, you know, you want it to rotate, you want it to make a circular kind of wall around the central keep, which you could do here with this skull keep, then you would do it that way. So you might have these facing different ways depending on how you do it. This particular section I think is $25, so you want to be careful and have a good battle plan there with exactly what you're doing, because it could get pretty pricey pretty quick if you just start going crazy with it. Then you got the rules for them, the new, what is this, Realm Gate Wars, I guess it's just a novel or something like that, new Forge World stuff, nothing too crazy. And then start getting into the actual Dreadhold itself. Now, somebody added up I don't know if you saw, and I don't think it's in this issue, the big chaos circle with all the dread keeps around the side. And that they were saying that thing's going to be like $1,300 if you add it up completely at retail, which is kind of just ridiculous. I would love to see that table made. There it is right there. I would love to see that table made, but you know, you're talking that's like $60 each, and each little section of this fortress wall right here is $25, right? So that cashes out pretty quick. I'm not exactly sure, I haven't done the math on it, but it's really interesting to see there. Now you've got the sections are really interesting, so I think this might be custom because these are lower than the central keep right there, and then you've got the stairs and things like that. So I don't know, but it looks cool. I would love to play on a table like that. I'm not sure exactly how functional it would be. Then we get to the back of the book where you got the war scrolls for the new blood warriors, which let's kind of take a look at them here. So you got the gore axe, range 1 inch, which seems to be pretty much the standard. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s, wounding on 3s with the Khorne glaive, obviously. So probably, you know, not as many attacks. Oh, it does have many attacks. Well, it's got neg 1 rend and damage of 2, which is really interesting. Then you've got, let's see, the Chaos Champion makes 3 attacks instead of 2. That's pretty cool. Icon Bear, yep. Unit includes Icon Bears as Wonder Bravery of all its models. Alright, that's fair. So Bravery up to 7. So you start hitting average right there, right? No Respite. A model from this unit is slain in combat. You can make it pile in, move, and then attack with a model before you remove it. Okay, that's fair. Gore Axes, reroll hits of 1 for models armed with more than 1 Gore Axe. Okay, yeah, we like re-rolling ones because it almost makes it go up by 1. So your two hit becomes basically a 2+2 hit there. I feel like the math doesn't support it, but it's hard to do fractions on a die, so we're just gonna roll with it, literally. Each time you make a successful save roll for any unit that contains a model carrying the Gore Fist, which are those punch things, and the attacking units within 1 inch of this unit, roll a dice. For each roll of 6, the attacking unit suffers 1 mortal wound after all of its attacks have been made. Wow, okay, that's pretty crazy. Now, interestingly, in this issue, we don't see a dedicated paint splatter. They call these the paint splatter extra, where they just kind of give you a vague kind of thing and some, you know, hey, this is what you do in 1, this is what you do in 2. And they also don't give us the nifty little, what is it, I guess it's like teaser or whatever you want to call it in there. Normally they seem to do that when they're switching from one kind of release period to another. We saw it just before we slid into the Age of Sigmar. Then we saw it, I think, just before we slid into the Khorne models. So now it seems like we're kind of at this impasse. Like, are we done with Age of Sigmar? Are we sliding into some 40k? Are we sliding into some fantasy, some zine, some demonkin? Because it seems to me like everything that's been in both of the campaign books has been seen already. So that being said, what's next? And to find out what's next, we go to the teaser page here, right? And it's, well, it's about as equally as vague as it could be. Next issue, the Hollow Knights, Golden Demon, and a prime example. Now, I imagine the Golden Demon is just at face value. There is a new series of Golden Demons happening in England. There's one, there's going to be another one in October. There was 2 already this year. We posted a lot of the features for those up on Spiky Bits already, so you can go to the page and type in the search box Golden Demons, and I'll pull up the last 2 that we had pictures for. We got some really great pictures that came to us courtesy of some of the blogs over in England that like to go attend these events and take some really great pictures and do some really great coverage. So very happy to share that with the rest of you all, because some of us here in America can't exactly get over to England very well, right? And it's not like we're getting any Golden Demons anymore here in America. So hopefully our cousins out there realize that we are still people and our money counts, and what we think still counts as well. So the big question here is Hollow Knights in a prime example. Well, don't exactly know what direction to even go and all that. I mean, you could go Primarch, How to Prime, Tyranid Prime, like just kind of losing it there. I don't really know. Hollow Knights, kind of lost there too. Maybe something to do with Stormclads. It's really hard to say at this point. Now, if we take a look at some of the new releases here, though, it gets really interesting. So you got the Skull Keep, right? That's the keep, the 2 door designs, and the balcony. That's the big thing that would form the middle of any particular fortification. And you're looking at USA 75, the Dreadhold, the Overlord Bastion, which is kind of like the whole castle kind of type thing, 160 US. That's really interesting. Dreadhold, the Malefic Gate, that's the little gate to get inside, $100, which is seems a little pricey to me, to be honest. That's just the gate, and then you have to have the sides, which is a fortress wall section, online only. Retails for 25, I want to say. Let's find out. 25, yep. So that's really interesting. And then if you want the rules for all of it, well, here you go. USA 33 to get the rules for it, and I'm sure there's some, you know, different rules and background and fluff and things about terrible things that have happened in, gosh, the skull fortress of doom from Chaos, right? Then you got the Bloodbound Warriors themselves, $62 for 10 models. Really interesting to get my hands on them, and hopefully we'll have an unboxing here in the next video. But when you get 20 models of the Reavers, and then you only get 10 of the Blood Warriors, you're like, what's so different about those? I mean, they were obviously really big size, so going to be interesting to see what that's all about there, because I'm kind of confused myself. So there's another good look of lots of the terrain kind of latched together in that particular fashion, leading up to what looks to be one of the fortresses right there. So really interesting stuff coming our way here soon. These guys look just simply amazing. I mean, I just can't get over how good looking these guys really are. I mean, it's head and shoulders above anything we've seen out there here in the past, and it's a really exciting time with all these computer-aided designs and things like that. So I cannot get over how good looking these are, and I really hope we see some Chaos models for 40K here in the near future as well. So that's about it for this one, guys. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Hopefully we'll see some new and exciting things for either the Age of Sigmar and 40K here in the near future. Make sure you stay in the trenches, subscribe to this YouTube channel, check out the blog, spikybitsblog.com, and head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content and early access videos. Become a veteran of the Long War today.